Guys, Fix Out here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how I did the Saginaw power steering pump swap on my 1995 F150 with the 5.8. It's actually a really easy swap. I would recommend it to anybody who has larger tires or their truck's lifted or anything that would make the steering heavier. Excuse me. Because this pump is actually off of mine specifically is off of a 1995 E150 in Econoline, so like a van with the 351 or 5.8. So basically why you would do the swap is, like I said, if you have bigger tires or anything like that, it makes your steering super light because the Saginaw power steering pump puts out way more pressure than the factory pump right here, thus making your steering lighter. The Saginaw power steering pump is actually a GM designed pump. They've been using it since the late 60s in like all their vehicles. And Ford just happened to use it in their Econoline vans. That makes it a really easy swap for trucks or basically anything that has a 351 or a 302 with the power steering pump mounted down in the bottom right corner of the engine. So basically all you need to do it is you need to find a van at a junkyard. Like I said, mine was 95, but I believe it's anything from like 88 to 97. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what it is. And you need the bracket, this bracket here that the power steering pump bolts to. You need that. You need obviously the power steering pump itself, and then you need the pulley off of the power steering pump. So basically you can get this whole assembly with the pump, the pulley, and the bracket. I got mine for 35 bucks, which is a really good deal. I did have to get a longer belt for mine to work, which is kind of unfortunate, but not a big deal. I actually happened to take the AC bypass pulley off of that same van, so I literally just took the whole accessory drive off of this side and it bolted right onto my truck. Oh, and you also need the power steering pressure line, this line right there that my fingers kind of just over. You can see it kind of goes down around there. That's the pressure line off of the van. You need the pressure line off of the van because the fitting in the back of the pump is different from the fitting in the back of this pump. This fitting here is different. Also, this line is not built to handle the pressure that this pump can put out. So using that line, if you somehow got it to fit, could cause it to, boom, which would not be good. But as far as installing it, it's super easy. Like I said, there's 3 bolts here. You can see the 2 there, 1, 2, and then there's one more right down there. And then unbolt that, and this whole bracket will come off. Obviously, if you have AC, there's 4 bolts up here. This is my AC compressor. There's 4 bolts on top of there that you'll have to undo and just kind of set the AC compressor aside. Do not undo any of the lines. That is very pressurized and it's very bad for you if you breathe it in. I repeat, do not undo any of the AC lines. Then obviously you have to take your belt off first. Now I'm going to go over some belt lengths that worked on my truck. Now my truck has, if you've seen my other videos, it doesn't have a smog pump on it anymore. So my belt's size is going to be very different if you still have that smog pump, but I'll explain some of that difference in a little bit here. So this is the belt that I had on my truck when I had the factory pump, when I had this pump on. So this belt is 97 inches long. Now the factory belt for this truck with the smog pump, with this factory pulley, or with this factory power steering pump is 102 inches. So my belt's already 5 inches longer or shorter than the factory belt because the smog pump's not there. I keep on getting them confused. I ended up needing to go to this guy which is a 98 and an 1/8 inch belt. So I actually went an inch and an 1/8 longer. Now, I don't know if you'd have to get a longer belt if you still had the factory belt. I've heard of some guys getting away with just the factory belt being able to run the Saginaw pump. But the reason I need a longer belt is because the Saginaw pump actually sits further this way than, like, kicks out farther from the engine than this pulley did. So, assuming that you would need to get a longer belt, it would need to be, I would guess, an inch and an 1/8 longer than the factory belt. So it'd be 103 and an 1/8. Don't quote me on that. That's just me kind of doing math, figuring out, thinking that's what it would be. But yeah, it's like I said, guys, it's a pretty simple swap, not that hard to do. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys all later. Sorry, I forgot to mention that another upside to swapping the Saginaw power steering pump onto your truck is it's way quieter than the factory pump. Everybody knows that stereotypical whine of the Ford power steering pump. You always see those memes. Is that a supercharger? No, it's just a Ford power steering pump. That gets really annoying. Now, mine wasn't making a whole lot of noise, but I really wasn't wanting to do the swap, but I just stumbled across this pump at the junkyard and I thought, oh, what the hell? It's really easy, why not? Yeah, just thought I'd kind of make a quick note here and mention that. But as I said before, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later.